Hello, I've been kind of obsessed with lip gloss lately and I wanted to show you, I'll call it a haul, but it's not something that I bought altogether. It's just kind of over the past maybe 2 months or so. So let me show you what I have here. First of all, I bought something from 100% Pure, which is a brand that I've mentioned before, and I like it because everything's natural, but it's also colored with fruit and berries and stuff, which sounds really yummy and safe. This is their lip gloss, fruit pigmented lip gloss in watermelon sorbet. And it's the kind in the squeezy tube because they have a few different packages for their lip glosses. And this is a really nice pink. There's no shimmer. It's a creamy color. It's a little bit thick and a little bit tacky. I don't want to say sticky because haven't tried truly sticky lip glosses. I think this is more like tacky. So it's a really nice medium pink. It is maybe a little bit darker than my lips, but it's like a nice, it just makes my lips a little bit pinker and it looks really natural and I really like it. This is great and it smells nice and fruity too. So I like that. Oh, one thing I wanted to mention about it, it's mostly vitamin E. I guess that's like 90% this is like vitamin E oil with like just a few other things added to it. And I don't know if this is why, but if I put it directly on my lips without putting lip balm underneath, it'll kind of feel uncomfortable. Not really burning, but like a little bit before what you would call burning, just kind of like an uncomfortable sensation. But if I wear a lip balm, I put that on first and then I put this on, that I have absolutely no problems. So that happens to me a lot with some lip products. I don't know if I'm just sensitive and I just need that like extra, you know, layer in between. So just wanted to mention that too in case you're like super sensitive. And then I tried this new brand called Red Apple lipstick, and I have 2 lip glosses to show you. This brand is really pricey. 100% Pure is somewhat pricey as well, but this brand is even more pricey, probably on par with like the brands that you'll find at Sephora. And it's all natural. All of these are natural products, and for these, some of their lip glosses have dyes, but I have asked and they have confirmed that they are food grade dyes. So that is that. I also bought a 3rd lip gloss and a lipstick. So I kind of had a big, really expensive order. And I ended up returning the other lip gloss and the lipstick because I feel like when I buy something for that much money, I really need to love it because I'm not just going to keep it and never wear it and just collect it, you know, if it's worth that much money that I'm losing. So let me tell you about these 2 and then I'll tell you about the products I returned and why I returned them. And I can give you a little update. I haven't received anything yet, but I can, you know, update once that happens in the comments or something how the returning went in case you're interested, you know, how their customer service and all that stuff is. So I have Metropolis and Peppermint Stick Pink. And Peppermint Stick Pink is what I have on my lips right now. And it's a really pretty light pink with some shimmer, and some of the shimmer is like an iridescent blue, which makes it look like a cool pink, and the wand is this kind of tilted wand that's kind of tapered. It's a little bit different than some typical lip gloss wands, so I just wanted to show you. So you can see that there it has a good amount of shimmer. The shimmer kind of makes it a cooler pink, and it is somewhat sheer. It's not super pigmented, but I really love the minty tingle. Both of these glosses have a nice consistency. They're creamy, they're a little bit thicker than something like the Yes to Carrots or the Burt's Bees. Those are really thin lip glosses. They're kind of just like putting, I don't know, like oil, like I don't know, olive oil or whatever, cooking oil on your lips. It just kind of like absorbs and goes away. And, you know, maybe that's comfortable to some people because there's no tackiness to those at all, but they also have virtually no lasting power. Whereas these, this is like my perfect consistency, and The 100% Pure is like this too as well. They're a little bit thicker, so you get a more pigmented application, and also it lasts longer, and you can feel them on your lips. You know, if you press your lips together, it's a little bit tacky, but it's nothing like your typical, you know, sticky goopy lip glosses. It's nothing like that. Like a lip gloss, this is less sticky than is the 100% natural lip gloss from Bare Essentials. If you're familiar with that, that's just something that popped in my head that is thicker and stickier. So this is less than that, for example. But it's more than Silk Naturals. If you're familiar with Silk Naturals lip glosses, this is a little bit thicker and longer lasting than that. And the next color is Metropolis, and I saw this in Emily from Beauty Broadcast on her blog, and that's actually how I've heard of Red Devil lipstick. So this is another really pretty color. The shimmer in this is much finer compared to like this watermelon one. You can see this is a cool pink, but if you don't have this next to it, it doesn't necessarily look all that cool. So it's just slightly cool pink. It's not gonna look like, you know, purpley or anything like that. And I really like this color. It's not too dark, and it's just like a nice pop of pink. I really like it, and I like them both in combination. I like putting this one on and then putting the peppermint one over it, or like in the center of my lip to give it more dimension, because that one's more shimmery, and I really like the minty tingle. So I love the formula, but I especially love the minty formula because I'm a fan of that. So I hope they release more colors. They only have a clear and then a nude and this pink, and that's it. They do have more colors of the standard gloss. So the one that I ended up returning, it was called something Princess, Dancing Princess, and it was a little bit similar to this, but cooler and a little bit darker, but also more sheer, so it didn't look particularly dark on the lips, but still it looked a little bit darker than this one. But the problem with it was, for me, is that it had a ton of really chunky glitter, and I don't really mind that for certain occasions. It's like a really glamorous sort of look, but I just wasn't gonna get that much use out of it because of that chunky glitter. Like, I knew that, you know, that was gonna have to be like a special occasion gloss for me, and therefore, you know, it would be lying in my drawer for kind of a long time. So that's why I thought it's best that I return it. But I actually really like the color, the underlying base color, so I really hope that they release something like that without all the chunky glitter, because that's really, you know, one of the only mauve, because this one is cool, but it's really more of a pink, whereas that one was like more of a plummy mauve color. So I hope they release, you know, something similar without all that glitter, because one other thing that drove me crazy is when the lip gloss wore off, all that glitter is like stuck to your lips. And maybe some people like that because then it's, you know, even longer lasting, but to me it like annoys me when I have glitter, like just dried glitter stuck to my lips. So that one I sent back. And oh, by the way, lasting power, probably about an hour and a half. That last half hour, it's not nearly as glossy as it is when you initially put it on, but you still have a little bit of sheen. That's kind of what I timed it at the other day when I wore them. And then I got a lipstick in, I can't remember what it's called. I think it started with, oh, Secrets. I think Secret or Secrets, something like that. That's it. And I'm sending that one back as well. I'm really not a fan of that lipstick. I don't know if, you know, all of their lipsticks are like this or what, because, you know, I don't want to make a judgment having only tried one, but I just don't really like the formula. It's kind of drier. I really like the balmy, glossy lipsticks where you put it on and you kind of have a sheen because it's like so buttery, if you know what I mean. Like Silk Naturals is a really good example. Like, my ideal lipstick formula is the formulas that Silk Naturals has. Especially the minty one, the minty formula. But anyways, it's just kind of like buttery, glossy, balmy lipstick. And this one was drier, and so you didn't get that, you know, shiny sheen on your lips. It was matte. I mean, not matte because it had some shimmer in it, but matte in terms of like whether it glistened or not on its own, you know what I mean? And so I didn't like that. And then for some reason it kind of felt a little sticky on my lips, which is weird for a lipstick. Usually lipsticks don't feel sticky. Usually that's something lip glosses feel like. But I just didn't like it. I didn't like the formula. It wasn't moisturizing or buttery enough for me. It wasn't drying. I don't think it's going to dry out your lips. Like some drugstore lipsticks majorly dry out my lips. And this isn't like that. I think it's nice if that's what you like, you know, because I'm sure not everybody likes the buttery, you know, glossy lipsticks. Like some people want a lipstick that's not gonna be like a lip balm and give you that shine. And so in that case, maybe you're gonna like this formula because, I mean, I think it's nice, it's just not for me. And the color was really pretty. Again, it was called Secrets, and it's kind of like, maybe like this color, like a cool pink slash mauve, kind of going into mauve, but then it had all of this fine gold shimmer that warmed it up quite a bit. And then, you know, if you swatched it and you saw the shimmer, you wouldn't think it's mauve, you'd think it's more of a pink, but if you look at it in the container, you can tell that it's like mauve with gold shimmer, so it's really pretty. And so just unfortunate that the formula didn't work out for me. But I do love these other two. Oh, and by the way, if you order from them, sign up for their newsletter, and then every month they send you a coupon for 20% off. So that's one way to make it a little bit more affordable. But then also you can do like a lipstick exchange, they call it, where you send them your used lipstick and they tell you how much to pay for the lip gloss or lipstick. I don't remember the exact prices. I think it was even a little bit more cheaper than 20% off. But of course you have to pay shipping to send your stuff to them. And then you send them a check for the price of the products that you want and for shipping. So I think it might end up being a little bit cheaper than 20% off, but you have to bother with sending them your used stuff, of course. And then I tried Vapour Beauty, which is another new brand to me, and it's another pricey brand. I've been going into pricey stuff. And Vapour Beauty, I bought some samples from them because what you can do is pay $15, yes, $15 for 5 samples, but they give you a $10 coupon off your next purchase. So it ends up being like $1 per sample, but there's a flat rate shipping of $5 and whatever the flat rate, you know, smaller box is. So I had to pay that, you know, twice, once for the samples and once when I used that $10 off coupon to get the full size product. So essentially I paid the $10 in shipping anyways. But I'm going to show you the samples first that I got, and then I'll show you the full-size product. They have 2 types of lip glosses. One called Elixir lip gloss. It looks like this in squeezy tubes. And then another one, which I don't have, but it's the, you know, a tube like this, but it's not square, it's round. So like the wand applicator tube. So this first one that I'm going to swatch for you that I have the sample of is one like this, and it's called Enigma. And it's a nice sheer purple. It's a little bit darker than the previous glosses that I've swatched for you. You can see that, and it's definitely more purple, and it has some fine shimmer in there. So it's really nice, I think. It looked a little bit dark on me when I put it on, but I think if I kind of wear it sheer, it's pretty good that way. And I'm going to swatch this one for you next. This is the one I got in full size called Twinkle, just because it's the same, you know, gloss formula. So I'll just have them next to each other. I really like this Twinkle. It is right here. And as you can see, it's just a nice light shimmery pink. It's pretty sheer, but it gives you just like a nice juicy pink lip. And I like light pink because I'm also really fair, so this works well for me. It's not like super light, make you look like you have no lips, because it's sheer. But, you know, it's nice to especially put in the center of your lips on top of other lip products to, you know, give it that dimension. It's kind of similar to the peppermint one, but it looks cooler and a little bit lighter. So then the rest are the Elixir plumping lip glosses. So I have 4 samples of that to show you. And this one is called Entice. And it ended up being quite a bit darker than I expected. So there it is there. That is just way too dark for me. But if that is a depth that works for you, it looks to be a nice, you know, pretty color. It is like a cool brown, cool brownish red. Then we have Vivid. Vivid is a pink, somewhat of a reddish pink, with some fine silver shimmer in there. There's Vivid, and these are nicely pigmented glosses. These seem to be more pigmented than the squeeze tube formula. Then there is Elixir. Oh no, I'm sorry. Trust. And Trust is not shimmery. It's a creamy, kind of a muted coral, or like a warm pink. And so there it is right there. And this one has no shimmer, unlike the previous ones. I have been into cool tones lately, so that's why that one I wasn't that interested in. And then this one, this is probably my favorite out of, not probably, this is my favorite out of the 4 samples of the plumping lip gloss. And it is called Beguile. And it's kind of like a cool tone, well, cool tone pink, more like a mauve, I would say, actually. So there it is there. And it is also like that creamy, not shimmery color. So that is it for those. And of course, you know, I got all these samples, and I probably, you know, if I had to pick one of these samples, I was probably going to order Beguile, but then you start looking at the website and you're like, oh, maybe I should try this other one, because, you know, of course the samples you've all tried, but, you know, the other stuff I haven't seen yet, so naturally I get more interested in the other things, and that's how I ended up getting the Twinkle, which of course was not even one of the ones that I sampled. So that's it. Oh, I just got lip gloss in my hair. That's it for Vapour Beauty. I really like the consistency and the texture. I think it's similar to the previous glosses that I talked about, where it's, you know, a little bit tacky but not too sticky, you know, but nice and long lasting. So I really like the formula, and they have some kind of like a citrus or orange scent to them, and I mean, I like that, but I guess it depends if you're sensitive to that. And then I have some itty bitty little lip gloss samples to show you from Monave. I'm not sure how to pronounce this brand. And also from Lumiere, called Lumi Lips. So first I'm going to show you the Monave. And I got 2 of the ones called Lip Glaze, and then the other 2 are just called Lip Gloss. So they're 2 different formulas, and I wanted to try them. So compared to, you know, the previous lip glosses that I just talked about, these are less thick and less tacky. They are probably similar to Silk Naturals, if you're familiar with their lip glosses. They feel very creamy, maybe just a tiny bit thicker consistency. But other than that, very similar. So one lip gloss I got is, I know these have names, but these little sample wands just have numbers, so I'm going to have to tell you a number, and you know, if you're curious what it's called, you're going to have to look it up, unfortunately. And this is 174, which is a nice iridescent pink, and I think it is super pretty. And this is the lip gloss formula, but I'm pretty sure that most of the colors come both in the gloss and the glaze. I think one of the formulas might be vegan, and maybe that's the difference. They kind of feel pretty similar to me. And the one thing that I just want to mention real quick is I was a little bit, not disappointed, but these little wands, they're so small. I mean, this is like the tiniest little container I have ever seen for a lip gloss. And I totally don't mind that, because when I sample stuff, I would rather have, you know, a really small sample and save my money, you know, pay less, you know, than have a huge sample and pay more of it, because, you know, with samples, a lot of times they don't work out for you. That's why it's, you know, they're samples. And these cost $3, which I honestly think is kind of a lot for this tiny little thing. I would think it should cost like $1 or like $1.50. I feel like $3 is kind of pushing it for this tiny, tiny little container. But that's just me. I don't know. Oh, you know what? 3 of these are lip glazes. I tried to order 2 lip glosses and 2 lip glazes, but I don't know. Maybe there is a mix-up or something. So the rest are all called lip glazes. This is number 156. I think the lip glazes feel a little bit thinner in consistency. So maybe they're a little bit more sheer because of that. Or maybe it just depends on the color. This is that 156 color. It's like a really sheer pink. It does have shimmer. They both have shimmer. This is the container. If you want to, you know, compare how much more sheer it looks on my hand. Then the next one is 154. Looks kind of like a warm peachy color. Also really sheer. And here it is, right here. And the last one is 169. And this looked like a really, like it was gonna be a really pretty mauve color, but it ended up being really dark, almost like, I don't know, well, you'll see. You'll see when I show you. It's really dark. I mean, it is somewhat sheer, but I really didn't expect it to be a brown. I expected it to be more of a mauve color. So that is the 4 right there. And the only one I really like is that first one. It's a really pretty like pink opal effect. What number was it? 174. So that's really my favorite. The other ones I don't really like, and I think that they're all really sheer. I think the first one is surprisingly the least sheer, even though usually the lighter colors tend to be more sheer. Maybe it's because it's a lip gloss formula. I'm not sure. But that's my thoughts on those. And then in a very similar container, and again, I think these were also like $3, so a little bit too much for something so little, but I have 4 lip glosses from Lumiere, and these are called Lumi Lips. And the first color I was so disappointed with, because look how pretty it looks. It's just like a natural, no shimmer to it, really pretty mauve color. It's not that dark, but it's not too light. It's really pretty. It's called Violaceous. But then when you put it on, it is completely sheer. I mean, even if you layer it on in the swatch on their website, they must have like put on the thickest possible layer, just like a goop of it on their hand to get their swatch to look, because their swatch looked like this color, and I was like, that is so pretty. But look at it on my hand. I mean, it is not even close to that. When I put it on my lips, it just looks like I'm wearing a clear lip gloss. So kind of disappointed with that one. But the rest are much better. They're much more pigmented. Berry Fizz is a really pretty pink, cool pink with lots of shimmer. If you like a shimmery gloss, this is definitely quite shimmery. Here it is in the container for you as well. And then the last 2, they're quite light. They're actually lighter than they looked to me, like they were going to be. But they're still, you know, I can still wear them. This one is called Tease. And this definitely looked kind of like, I don't know, kind of looked like Violaceous but with shimmer, maybe. but in real life it ended up being really light, frosty, cool pink. And the last one is called Moonstone, and this one also looked darker in their swatches, but in real life it ended up being, and I think it was listed under the purples, or plums and purples, I forget how they categorize it, but it's actually a nude. There's nothing purpley about it. I mean, I guess you could say it's maybe a cool nude, I don't know, but it's just like a light frosty nude color. Let me show you right here. Here it is. And it's a little bit darker than the Tease. So here are all of the swatches together. And if I had to choose between the Monave and the Lumiere formula, I like the Lumiere formula a little bit better, definitely than the Monave lip glazes, but I think it's, you know, pretty comparable to the Monave lip gloss formula. So let me kind of touch them and tell you, yeah, I mean, none of them feel sticky. They definitely feel really creamy. They're going to be a little bit shorter wearing than all the previous lip glosses that I showed you, but they're going to feel really comfortable if you're sensitive to, you know, any kind of stickiness or, you know, thickness on your lips. So that is it. That is all of the lip glosses in my haul, and, you know, there might be more because I'm still not out of this, you know, being into lip gloss phase. So I might make more videos for you later. I did just swap with somebody for more of the Lumiere little samples. So when I get those, you know, if you want, I can show them to you as well. So that is it. I hope this was helpful to you, and thank you so much for watching. Bye.